What the hell? What the hell? That's right, guys. We are back, and look at this road we are on. It's just a gravel road. It says, welcome back to another edition of As the Wheel Turns. I will be your host today. Yeehaw! Alright, now that it's over with, we are on our way to Mount St. Helen's. As I may have said in a previous video. Or, if not, we are. Alright? Now, there are two ways to get to Mount St. Helen from this side of the mountain, right? Now, I could have stayed on the highway for another 30 miles and then had 50 miles of back roads, right? But from this direction, it saved me 20 miles, but it said it was going to take just as long. Okay, whatever, right? Well, now I'm 30 miles, 29 miles from the mountain, apparently. And I've been on this road for about 10 miles now. And boy, you sure can't go very fast. So it still says it's going to take me an hour and 43 minutes to get there for 29 miles. Are they on the crack? Oh, somebody lost a shoe. And a trailer pup. Alright. It's like a military trailer pup. But anyway, even at 30 miles an hour, 27, 26, I still can't see it going to take me an hour and 45 minutes to get to Mount St. Helen's. So, Google don't know everything, right? Hell, apparently I'm riding up beside a river right here, but I can't see it. The river runs through it. But this road is beating me to death, guys. It's beating me to death. And I wish I had a little bit better set of tires, actually, also. No camping, no fires. Well, hell, camping risk is low. Apparently, up here at Mount St. Helens, there is still a lot of roads that are closed around the mountains, or roads that have never been rebuilt since it blew its top back in the 80s. I think it was in the 80s when that happened. I seem to remember watching, I know I watched it on television because they had all that footage of old Dave, or whatever his name was, that would not leave his cabin on the mountain. He was going to go with the mountain. Well, he did. He went with that mountain. And that's okay. It's his choice, I guess, does old Dave still own that piece of the mountain now that it's not there anymore? Or what? I think I'm going to look that up and see if I can't buy old Dave's property for back taxes. Why not, right? Nobody's probably paid taxes on it since the 80s. I'm going to look into that and see what his name was, and if he's on the tax books for Washington State. It might be a good piece of property 30 years later to buy up 81 maybe, 84, 94, 2004. Well, yeah, we're going on 27, 26 years, right? I'm going to look it up. Old Dave, I'm going to buy your property. Don't worry. You can stay there. You can haunt the place. By now, you have probably grown into a flower or a tree or something like that. And I applaud you. I do. Especially if I can buy your back tax property. That would be extra cool. Then I'd probably never go there. But I might go there and look around. I might be worried about old Dave. Can you imagine? Old Dave would probably be pissed if somebody bought that land for back taxes. He probably would. He'd be highly irritated. Or he might be happy about it. He might be, oh, I'm so glad somebody else can come and look at the trees now. I sure did love my trees. I wonder what old Dave was doing when it blew. He knew it was going to blow. He had a lot of balls to sit to wait it out. He's just going to go with the mountain. But for that second when it blew, there's a nice little river over there. That second when it blew, I bet you in that 1 second, he's probably already done a lot of praying and everything, right? But he was like, oh shit. Because I can tell you about oh shit moments, right? I've had a lot of oh shit moments in my life that I'm not going to talk about. But I will tell you guys about falling out of the barn, right? I was 40 feet up on top of the barn. And I was hanging tobacco. That's what we do, is we hang tobacco, right? Where I come from. And it dries, and then you sell it in November to the big tobacco warehouses. They come and buy it, all right? That's what farmers do. But anyway, I was in the top tier of that barn, and it was August, and I was hanging that tobacco. I was set to ship out the next month for the military, right? Now I'm up in there just hanging the back and working I was working like a Mexican, guys, because I don't know, it's probably a racist term, but I believe in working hard. It feels good, and it's good for you, and it builds character. But anyway, so I'm up there working hard, and I hear a crack. I have my hands up in the air with tobacco in my hands on the tobacco's on a pointy stick, all right? So I hear the crack, and she let go, and the tier, that's the rungs that are in the top of the barn that holds the roof up, all right? The tier broke, and when it broke completely in two. And so I exited stage right, so I was falling, right? And in falling, I caught my knee on the next tier. That probably helped to save my life, right? And really messed up my knee bad. I didn't know it at the time, of course. But it also turned me over, so I was pointing straight down at the ground with my hands out in front of me. And I remember coming out of my mouth in that split second it takes you to fall 40 feet to the dirt floor below. Oh shit! Thump. Yep, that's about how fast it worked. Oh shit! Thump. And so my hands hit first and broke both my arms, and then my chest hit, my face hit. It was a good hit. And my brother, he ran over and he said, "Oh my God, are you all right?" Because I jumped right up. I hit that ground and I jumped up. And I said, "Get away, you're taking my air." Because I couldn't breathe, right? Of course, he wasn't taking my air. It just felt that way because I couldn't breathe. And he backed up. And of course, I then proceeded to fall down again because, you know, I couldn't breathe and I was all broken up and mangled like a poor deer that's been ran over by a tractor trailer. I did manage to get back up a few minutes later, and I said, "I need a cigarette." Well, my hands didn't work because one was compound fractured and the other one was all broken, crippled. So my brother held me a cigarette up there while I smoked a cigarette. I sure could have used a beer about that time. But I didn't have a beer because I was only 17. And so they loaded me in the truck and took me to the hospital where they did x-rays on my chest and my arms and everything. And they set my, got my fracture fixed and put me in a couple of casts. And they told me I'd be all right and send me home. What nobody knew is that accident actually shifted my internal skeleton. Later on in life, with X-rays and MRIs and everything, the doctor says that my whole rib cage is shifted to the right, just enough to where it always makes me have issues in the winter and everything because I'm all screwed up. There's no way to fix it because it's been that way so long. I was just lucky I came out of that one alive. So now I don't know how it went from old Dave to me coming out of a barn. Oh, it was the oh shit moment in life, right? That's what it was. Look at that, ain't that pretty? We got a real pretty view over there. I want to have a look at it here. Alright, there's the view. Alright, let's see how far we are away from this vaulted volcano. I can't read it. I'm moving and it's bouncing. Everything's bouncing. I probably wouldn't be no better if I had good shocks or anything, because these are kind of big rocks. I would tell the state of Washington to use smaller rocks. It will make for a much better ride for the motoring public. Now, the state of Washington may not care what I have to say because, I'm not one of their people. I just visit here a lot because I find it so beautiful. But anyway, that's going to be when we get to the top. I'll turn you guys back on, or sometime. Maybe we can find out where old Dave lived up here. And I know old Dave's not his name. I'm just giving him that name because it's better than you know, it's better than no name at all, right? Alright. Catch you on the other side, not the flip side.